Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BOSScast. I am the Duke, and I'm joined by my real life bro. Got it right this time. Lone Wolf.
23.
Well, why does everyone have to give me a hard time on intros? Anyway, it's Sunday, April 17th, 2016, and we're just going to go ahead and get into it. How's it going, Lone Wolf?
Doing well.
23, since you want me to say
Shit,
that every
23.
time now. Doing well?
It's going well. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, what you got?
I just unlocked Braum, man.
Oh, yeah?
Ready to go. Ready to take people's max HP away from them.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's tougher to use the higher up you get. I see people use him on defense though, and he actually scares me on defense, even with my comp that does pretty good. So there's always a chance that he could live, and he hits really hard even outside of Doomblade. So he can be pretty tough to deal with. So he's fun, and I don't even have him fully ascended yet. I thought I did for forever, but I had not even ascended him at all. So apparently I got him mixed up with someone else. But yeah, so I'm still working on him myself, but I like him. So congratulations.
Uh,
Um,
I got him and the other dark that's completely useless. Balag or Balig?
Balog, yeah,
Balog.
yeah. I wouldn't say he's completely useless, but his silence is a little like now that we have two silencers in fast heroes. I don't see how the silence from a single target silence from a normal hero is that useful, especially when he's dark, which means, you know, everyone brings Black Diamond, and not everyone, but a lot of people bring Black Diamond in PvP. So you're going to not survive. He's
Yeah.
going to die. So he's very campaign and tower oriented at the moment. Let's say it that way. We'll keep it as nice as possible. But yeah, you made some hero progress. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually got some this week too. Didn't unlock anybody because the only people I have to unlock are um, Hansuki and Furnace, and I did not get. I maybe got one or two rolls in when Furnace was live that one day this week, and didn't get him, so that stunk. But anyway, I'm at 15 tokens or something like that for him.
Yeah.
So
Well, just rub it in. Okay.
what? Oh, that I have a roster. Uh,
Yeah. You have all but two.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a blessing and a curse. Mostly a blessing though. So it's a
Yeah, I was gonna
curse
say you get
because
through the
you.
tower most of the time,
Yeah,
so it's
that's true.
probably a blessing.
Yeah, it helps get through the tower for sure. So unless someone puts, unless your tower gets stacked with a bunch of bait defenses, and you don't know how to deal with them because it's like 4 floors with the furnace, and I haven't figured out how to effectively deal with him yet. I didn't
Oh
complete the
Lord.
tower that day. So, and then the next day, no furnace. I'm like, how is this possible? This is so weird. So I guess it was just I had been completing fairly regularly, and it seems like the more you complete, and it could just be completely random, but it seems like you have like a just crazy easy day, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I don't know how to deal with this because it's someone new, like the furnace or whatever. So it's
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
everyone's
that has a lot
completely
to do with it.
upgraded for like 4 of your floors and stuff like that, which can be tough. So yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with just Furnace being, I don't want to say unknown, but for the most part, just not as known
Well, he's really
for the
strong, and if
novice
I
player.
understand everything right about him, it takes 5 strong hits to kill him. He's not someone you can one shot because I believe one of his abilities is I don't know if it's abs of steel or what, but I'll have to look it up. But which I probably should have done before we got in this conversation. But anyway, this is live, sort of. I mean, it's live for us, but there's some ability he has where he can only take 20% of his max HP in damage. So that means you can only, and I would imagine, I haven't tried Braum against him. I would imagine his max health reducer doesn't work on him, though. It may, because I don't, I mean, that's a
That's an
debuff,
interesting
though.
concept, then.
Yeah, that'd be something to experiment with. Maybe when the event dungeon rolls around again, I'll just keep trying to get Braum to him and see what I can
The
do.
thing that I don't exactly like with Braum though is you don't like. There's no indicator of how much damage you actually did, and I like
Yeah,
seeing the indicator of knowing how much damage I did.
yeah, that can be tricky. Um, yeah, it
But
just says max health reduced. It doesn't say how
yeah,
much it
so
was reduced
like,
by. It doesn't like this is what would
and
be
even
great.
when you do the damage to them, their health bar is still full.
Right,
If
right,
that was
exactly.
if that was the first thing you did to them, their health bar is still full.
Yeah,
But yet you did damage. It's just you don't know how much or
I think a
how
cool
close they
way
are
to
to death.
represent that, and I know it would probably require a little bit on the dev's part, but a cool way to represent that you see in a lot of MMOs and other and I don't know, I haven't played a lot of RPGs, but maybe it's in RPGs too, would be to just like red out the health bar, the however much he reduces it. So it's like this is unattainable health bar for the
Yeah,
rest of the match or for the rest of the encounter. That would be cool. Where it color codes it to say, hey, this is how much. Or I mean, you could even use white for
let's say
colorblind
just like
people. What's that?
a counter color, just something different than
Yeah.
the normal.
Well, I know some people that have colorblindness, like red and green is an issue. So I guess you could just white it out. I mean I don't know how white and green work with that though. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't fully understand the concept of color blindness, but anywho, that would be a cool thing to do though if there was some way to distinguish how much health they no longer have.
Right.
That would be great. So, especially once we really get into this and start knowing the numbers on things and start really nerding out even more than I already have. So, that could be very useful information.
That
But
could be one of those
anyway,
minor game improvement things. How about that? Yay.
yeah, there you go. So, we somehow filtered in a quick little quality of life improvement.
Yeah, there you go.
So you got a couple of unlocks recently. I've got I upgraded some people this week. I got Nitpick to 5 stars. I
Nice.
got Sumi to 5 stars, and I don't really use Sumi that much except in a tower. So it was still nice, and it works toward the whole campaign quest of getting people to 5 stars. So that's cool.
Right.
I'm almost to 4 stars on Bovis, and I'll get back to that in a second. Um, and I feel like I upgraded a couple other people. Oh, I finally beat the Lich in challenge mode and 3-starred it. I'd beaten him plenty of times, but couldn't figure out what to do. And then, based on what we talked about last week with the person completing Root of All Evil, the main campaign, or the
Right.
not the main campaign, but completed challenge mode essentially. I was like, wait a second, I could use a similar comp to that. Just change one little thing and ended up pulling off. I think I used Kira. Let's see, it was Kira, Augustus, Nitpick, and Ignis. So essentially, yeah, that's what I used. So because I don't know that the Lich burns, but Nitpick just still does so much damage that why not? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and he never had guys to. I mean, he just died so fast it was ridiculous. There was one point.
Nitpick's cooldowns are good too. So
Yeah, Um, there was one point where I was scared because I'd used a potion to put Aegis shield on or Aegis wall down, so put the Aegis shield on everybody, or Aegis, however you want to pronounce it, and um, what happened? Oh, he did his little swirly balls of doom where he hits people multiple
Mm.
times,
Yep.
and I'm like, oh god, he's gonna pop the shield and he's gonna one shot Kira, but he didn't do that much damage, so that was nice. So maybe I don't know, maybe Kira dodged. No, he took damage, but it wasn't that attack doesn't do that much. It diseases. That's the main problem with that is it diseases, so it cuts your damage, your healing, and all that stuff. But he was so close to dead at that point that it scared me for a second because I forgot that it was mainly a disease attack. Even now, I had forgotten that. But yeah, then he just died. We destroyed him, so it was pretty cool. So for anyone struggling to 3-star that one, so you can get your 3-star quest done, your all-star quest done. It's a decent comp. Augustus for any of the hard boss battles is not a bad guy to bring because of Aegis Wall. So Aegis Wall, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's AE. I hear people say it so many different ways. I've heard people say Aegis, and that sounds weird. So anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on with me. Made some progress in challenge mode. Made some got some upgrades in. So back to the Bovis thing. So Lone Wolf. What has been our philosophy? Something that I felt like I learned early on that from my own mistakes and from seeing people talk about it in chat. Something that I learned learned early on and transmitted that knowledge to you, and you have probably utilized as well concerning gold.
Don't use it to buy the 10-time thing. Just get the free ones.
Yeah, so I stopped doing that this week. um, I've seen people doing or talking about slow leveling on the forums, and I'm I I'm more middle of the road. I don't see why you would necessarily just bore yourself with never because the one of the things you do with slow leveling is never complete a dungeon if it's a wooden chest and you never quick loot, and I just can't help but quick loot. Um, Especially if I'm trying to get tokens for people, it just seems like the most efficient and surefire way to get tokens for people as long as you can get tokens for them that way. So, anywho, so two things I have done in the past week or so, maybe a couple weeks, probably the past week. One is actually do the 10 times portals in the heroic summons, the heroic portal, because you get so much gold, and I had gotten to where most of my guys were leveled up. Now, I'll throw something on at the end. At I'll come back to what I just said. But most of my guys are leveled up, and most of their abilities are leveled up. And if they aren't, they're either abilities that I'm never going to use, i.e., Gimme Gimme from Cruel King Bramble, or or they're on heroes that are just extremely underpowered at the moment, and I just don't really use them. And that may not necessarily be the heroes themselves, unless it's Zerk, but
Hmm.
it may be that I just don't have them upgraded. Like I have Dagon from completing campaign, but you can get up to 3 tokens a day on him unless you refresh with gems, and I'm not going to do that for one dungeon that has him. I guess I'll be able to do more once I get further along in challenge mode because it looks like a couple of challenge mode dungeons use his token instead of somebody else's, like it does in normal. Um, so you can get up to 3 tokens from one dungeon until you unlock the challenge versions, and that may even be a double dip where it's. I will have to look real quick. Um, but anyway, so Dagon, I like him. I like that he's a little bit different from Rogar, but he has the added benefit of electricity, which is cool. But yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, so you really have two dungeons that you can pull tokens from, even if you 3-star everything in the game that exists right now, all the way through challenge mode. Because one is going to be the exact same dungeon that you can get him from normal, and then the other is another, obviously. So, anyway, so only two dungeons that you can actually get tokens from. So, he's going to take a while. But anyway, I say all that to say, because I have been doing the summons in the heroic portal, I have actually gotten um, Bovis within 5 tokens of upgrading, and I had barely moved him during events or whatever, so it's kind of cool. I guess I had gotten some event tokens and just getting them along and along anytime I did free summons. But now that I've been doing that, he doesn't drop every time you do it, but there's a chance you could get him, 5 or more times. If someone did that, that would be amazing. But there's a chance you could get him 5 or more times. So, yeah, I just learned that. I learned that from the slow leveling threads, because that's pretty much all people do with slow leveling is they do whatever they need to do to get as much gold as possible. They roll on the heroic. I keep saying heroic, not the heroic. I've said the wrong thing this whole time. The great summon. Sorry, the great portal. So they amass as much gold as possible with as little effort as possible. So or with as little XP as possible. So maximum XP gain or maximum gold gain for XP gained, and then they spend that gold in the Great Portal to upgrade their characters. So anyway, that's what I've been working on, is trying to upgrade Bovis, and I'm almost to his first upgrade, which would be 4 stars. So I'm at like 95 of 100, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of something I've learned that goes hand in hand with actually progressing a hero that I wasn't really working on. It was just, if I got a token every now and then, great. I just figured it would be, a year before I could ever actually upgrade him. But now it seems shorter by at least a couple of months. So,
I'm actually up to 75
oh
on
wow,
Bovis. So I'm fairly close.
yeah.
And to tell you how I got that close is, do you know what I usually do in video games that I'll play with you?
Uh,
And usually it gets you extremely frustrated.
just completely ignore my advice.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I was buying the 10 time things every once in a while.
Yeah,
Um, I figured
that's
that would segue kind of nicely.
yeah, that's great. That's
Um,
great.
so yeah, I didn't completely heed your advice on that.
I half the
I
time
did
ignore my advice, so don't worry about it.
every once in a while. I didn't do it all the time, but like if I ever had like 6 or 700,000, I was just like,
You're like,
I
I can
can
spend
get
a
a couple
hundred.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would do it every once in a while.
Well, see, that's why my characters are actually leveled up and yours are not.
Possibly.
Now, to be fair, what's cool is one other thing I've learned from that is you get a ton of keys, you get a ton of evos through that, which I knew those things were in the Great Portal, were like if you got a silver chest, that's the kind of stuff you got. But I actually was able to fully ascend Shadowblade finally, because apparently some Bushidos dropped at some point. I could be wrong, so someone can tell me I'm wrong. But maybe it was just maybe I had the Bushidos and everything else dropped, and it finally got him to where he could be ascended. So that was cool because I looked over. I was just scrolling through to see if anybody was close, and not expecting anyone to be close. And I think he was like one small something away. So I just did a quick loot or two on something and got it and took and knocked it out. So that was pretty cool. Sickly slice isn't bad. It can one shot some people, and so yeah, it's good in the tower if nowhere else, and good in dungeons. It's good in PVE, I should say. So, but that's what I've learned
Yeah.
this week is that that's not necessarily, especially when you're at the point where your gold is just kind of you're kind of at the point where I am where, well, I guess I'll upgrade this guy even though I don't play with him at all. Or I guess I'll upgrade this ability that I'll never use, stuff like that. Or that I never get to use in an effective way. I can only use it in, quick run, quest runs, where you're just trying to kill a certain type of enemy, and so you just bring somebody random or whatever. But it's uh, it's a good use of gold. But then I also, because I don't just sit on great portals, I actually quick loot things and complete dungeons and stuff like that. I accidentally leveled up, and so because I had so many keys, I'm like, why not use them? So anyway, I accidentally leveled up, so now like all my people need to be leveled. Not all, but about a third of my roster needs to be leveled up, and needs to actually be leveled up XP wise, and then they also almost everyone needs some sort of upgrades on their abilities, some some gold in their abilities, but most of them were fully done, so I'm not worried about a couple of points here and there on each ability for now. When I know the difference maker is stars, bigger difference maker than like anything in the game. So except I guess when you ascend people and get a really sweet passive out of it, that could potentially turn
Oh
a
yeah.
corner on a character in some ways. But other than that, every it's all about those stars. It seems because I've had people that were 4 levels below me. Hasn't happened often, but I've had people 4 levels below me give me a run for my money, or even beat me in PvP or the tower, and it was all about their stars. So they were even their heroes were even or better than me, better than mine because they had 1, 2, 3 more stars than my guys. So it's a big deal, really big deal. So I'm doing whatever I can to work on that more, burning gems on it, and because I've been burning gems, I didn't I if I complete the tower on the next reset, I'll be able to roll one more time on the heroic portal to see if I can get the jackpot thing to get
Mm-hmm.
the cool um, skin for Emily. But I've only been able to roll. Let's see, I
Hawk
failed
girl
one.
Emily.
What's that?
Hawk girl Emily.
Yeah, but I failed tower one day, so I didn't have enough. I couldn't get enough gems together to pull it off. Then the next day, I got through the tower and didn't get it. But I think I got some. I think I got like Igorok or something, which was cool. An Igorok unlock, which was cool because I gave him some tokens. But yeah, I like the Hawk Angel Emily. That's really cool. Really cool. But have not been able to get it. So maybe I'll be able to roll one more time on it and pull it off. But if not, oh well. I didn't want to spend money on gems just for a skin. So if I could maybe buy it outright, I might consider that. Just throwing that out there. Boss fight. If there were situations where I could outright buy things as opposed to having to randomly roll for them, then I might consider that a lot more strongly. A lot more I might be more likely to make that purchase. So, but that is directly buying power as opposed to directly buying a chance for power, even though there's plenty of people who just buy until they get everything they want. So, I don't know. I guess it just depends on the model. But I am rambling so bad at this point. Lone Wolf, do you have anything? Sorry, Lone Wolf 23. Do you have
Hey,
anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, that's really about it. We kind of covered, minor game improvement. We covered who we wanted to, or who we unlocked or upgraded or leveled or
Sure.
saw something new in, and yes.
Yeah, we kind of covered game and hero progress.
Oh, by the way, earlier you talked about Doomblade just saying it reduces max health. It actually has a damage number on it now.
Oh, it does. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay. Well,
And just says this damage cannot be healed. So,
I was wrong. No. I'm talking about when you
oh,
do
in
it.
game,
Yeah.
yeah, in game it just says max health, max HP reduced.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that
that
still
that's
stands.
where I'm talking about is that's where it would be nice to actually see the results of it, like you said.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
That's absolutely my point too. Is want to know what happens with that health.
and that's our minor quality of life tip or quality of life request for the week.
Yeah.
Just like make the bar like fill in or like black it out a certain part of it or take that take the border that's around it and use that as a fill color for however much it's reduced or something like that. So it's just like, okay, your health bar is only the green part at this point. I don't know, just something. um but yeah, I'm done. You're done. We've said what we've rambled or I've rambled, and you've been extremely succinct as always. So with that,
You're welcome.
you're welcome, or I'm welcome, and I'm also the Duke. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for you. Oh, I did remember something. Sorry, I need
Uh
to give
oh.
somebody a shout out. This is really quick. I had it up on screen forever, and then just totally, yeah, that's pitiful. Shout out to Haxus Bloodbane from the forums. Haxus Bloodbane has given us feedback pretty much every single time we've posted. Yep, every time we've posted, Haxus has been there to say, "Hey, great cast," or "Hey, you were right about this," or blah 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 blah. So thank you so much for interacting with us in that way, and hopefully we'll see some more interaction either on the video, on SoundCloud, or most especially in the game forums. So thank you so much, Access Bloodbane, for uh, just always having something, even if it's just a quick "Hey, great cast." Thank you for the shout outs, and you get a shout out in return. So back to good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for you. I'm the Duke. Lone Wolf, take us away.
All right, guys, it was a fun show. Thanks for stopping by. I don't have a signature sign off, so bye.